Hey, it's Michael at Digital T-Shirt Shop. So today is a little bit of a recap of yesterday. Hey, so today is, I don't even know what the date is. I'm not even going to try to, I need to look before I start a video. So anyways, yesterday I did a whole bunch of videos on getting the SpeedTreater up and getting the RI3000 up and some test prints that we did. This morning, I don't have a lot of time. I've got to go to work and do some things there. But the room, so we talked quite a bit about climate control in the room. I got my other humidifier in here, right down there. Got it set at 48. When I came in this morning, the room was at 38 as far as my little monitor thing says. So this machine here says it's at 48. That machine there says it was at 38. The heat I probably need to have set just a little bit higher. I was kind of concerned because, well, I guess I shouldn't have been concerned, but later in the day it was almost 80 degrees in here, and it's like 30 degrees outside. So I turned down the heater just a little bit, and the heat didn't quite go as high as I hoped it would go during the night. I think when I came in this morning it was about 68, so it's 68 and 38, and it's supposed to be 70 and 40, so I'm actually pretty close. I probably want it to get just a little bit higher than that overnight when it's cold overnight, so I might set this humidifier just a tad bit higher and the space heater just a little bit higher and see if I could come in and have it be 72 and 42 or something like that. I don't know, so we'll see. But not too bad for at least trying to keep it controlled in here. So yesterday, the RI3000, there wasn't really a lot I had to do with it. I just basically had to leave it on so it would keep circulating the ink. It has a process in it that it keeps the white ink moving. But I'm in a spot where I need a bunch of extra shirts so that I can do some test printing with it. One concern I have is this print plate's so big that some of my smaller shirts may not fit on it. I may have to print more smaller shirts on the youth plate, which is even smaller, because they may not fit on this plate. As it was with the smaller plate on the Sprint, my youth small shirts barely fit on it. The youth mediums were, the youth extra small didn't fit on it at all. I had to use the youth plate on the, for those shirts. But everything from about small up I could just use on the regular plate. Allowed me to put pretty big prints on the youth size shirts. If I have to go smaller, on the youth plate on a youth small or a youth medium, well, that's going to make the print be a lot smaller on those shirts. So I've got to play with it a little bit and see. So I don't really think there's an in-between option. So that's one thing. Other than that, I just need to come in this morning and run a cleaning on it and print nozzle check and all of that, and that should be fine to print. So, and I've got a few prints to do. On the SpeedTreater, last night, this was a little bit of a learning experience taking this out. So one thing I've got is I'm not in an office that is like an industrial office. I'm in my residence in the basement. And, I've just put in a new floor and all of these things, and so I am concerned about getting the sticky residue from the pre-treatment all over the place. So it was just a tiny bit messy trying to kind of clean this up, and then I realized there were a couple of things. So one thing is I have this Anajet pre-treatment for my Anajet printer. I know they make some OEM versions of this stuff, just generic versions. I don't know that I might just keep buying it from Anajet, but this is supposed to be diluted and distilled water, 1 part distilled water to 2 parts pre-treatment to 1 part distilled water. Well, I didn't dilute it yesterday. So before I print anything else with white ink, and I didn't get to the store yesterday to buy some distilled water, what I'll probably do is just buy 1 or 2 gallons of it. And I probably just need 1 gallon actually. And then I'll do a mixture of the pre-treatment solution so that I have the correct consistency of pre-treatment solution, which means the shirts I printed yesterday have too much pre-treatment on them. Then with the pre-treatment solution diluted, it'll make it last a little bit longer, because it'll be at least 1.5 times this much, because I'm going to basically add 50% of that as water. And then it may not be quite as sticky. And then, so the other thing as I was taking this apart yesterday, so I had to get into the back of it. And actually I put that in some water for the filter and everything last night. I had to pull the in out so it wasn't sucking anything in, and leave the out inside of the pre-treatment solution. I guess I should have noticed it says concentrate there. Anyways, and run the jogging so that it pushes air through it and it pushed out all the rest of the pre-treatment solution. Then I had to open up the back of it and pull out the tray that's in here. And I emptied that back in. There's nothing in it. I mean, the tray was clean, and so I figured the solution that had sprayed into the tray was probably still clean as well, so I didn't really worry about that. And then I had to take the nozzle off and put the nozzle in this Cloggy No More stuff that came with it, and I assume that's only going to go so far, but it'll probably last a long time because you just soak it every day in the same stuff. Anyway, so that's been soaking overnight and should prevent it from clogging up. I had a little bit of difficulty because of where this table is located at getting that. And what I realized early on when I put this in, I probably would benefit from getting a table with casters on it, that I could just roll it out from the wall, get to the back of it as needed. Because one of the last things I want to do is be trying to shift this table with a 200-pound pre-treatment machine on it and have the legs go out on it because I'm pulling it funny. So I think it would be very ideal to have a table with casters so that I could move that in and out, and I could push it back against the wall, but I could also pull it out when I needed to get into the back of it. Because as it is right now, to stick my head back there and to actually see the nozzle and reach back there and get extra leverage with my hand to try to get that nozzle on and off is a little difficult. So anyway, so those are kind of a couple of the wrap-up things that I dealt with yesterday after my first day of using the printer and the SpeedTreater. I'll kind of leave all that at that. So, but other than that, so we're going to move forward today. I've got a few shirts that I need to print this morning that need to go out. And then my mother-in-law, who is my printer, helps me print, is going to come over and print today, but she's not been shown how to use either of these, so she'll actually be just printing on the Sprint today and getting me caught up on some shirts that need to be printed there. I am going to be ordering some Teflon covers for the heat press. I really like the Teflon covers I had on the other one. I actually had them for probably 2 or 3 years, and they just always worked fine. I still use sheets with it, but I never had to worry about ruining the heat press and getting ink stuck to the heat press or anything like that. That it just always worked fantastically. And then, so I will probably do that, and then, you know, that'll save me, you know, the torture of if I make a mistake and transferring ink from one press to another and messing up and destroying my heat press. So I'm going to buy those. I'm also going to buy, I do most of my buying from Sanmar, most of my t-shirts. So I'm going to buy a bunch of t-shirts that I can run some tests. What I'm interested in doing test-wise is it's a combination of how much pre-treatment should I use and the type of coverage I'm getting on the shirts, combined with the temperature and duration with which I'm heat pressing the shirts, and then washing them to make sure that there's a span within there that I'm getting the best coverage, I'm getting the best print, and it's not washing off the shirt. And you know, as well as controlling my costs. Obviously, the more pre-treatment we use, the more it's going to cost us. At the same time, we want people to be able to buy shirts and have those shirts last for a long time. You know, they spend money on something like that, it ought to last for a long time. So anyways, so we'll try to do that. If I order the shirts today, it's Friday. I'm not going to get them till Monday. I do have some shirts in the meantime. I might try, if I've got enough shirts, I'll try to run those tests within a span. I know I don't have tons of shirts, but I might be able to maybe do it. I'm going to order some extra shirts though, just in case. So if it ends up being, I may have to run the tests beginning of next week. And then this equipment, I may just wait till tomorrow to print again with the white ink and this. I probably will still print a shirt or two on this with just white shirts, just not using the white ink. And then that's kind of where we're at. I know it's kind of a long video, a lot to say, kind of recapping a lot of things. And I did put some art in my office. Check out that world map. So my day job, I work at a store that sells maps, and this is one of my favorite maps that we would sell. It's a National Geographic 25th anniversary, and if you can find the older version of it, the first run map of it, which are hard to find now because this is a second run version of the map, but the first run came out, I don't know, a year ago or 2 years ago. It actually has an anniversary map, so from, I think from the probably 1888 on the back of the map. So it's two maps in one. So the front map, you've got this really nice current modern world map, and then on the reverse side you have that 1888 version is what I think it actually had on the back. Which is really cool, really cool. National Geographic. You'd have to look around to find that one, is because all of the maps we've gotten lately, or the last while, didn't have that on it. So, but I've got that in my office, and now we'll be able to tell where different places are. So I like that. It's a nice looking map. Nice art in the office. So anyhow, thanks. Love to have you subscribe to Digital T-Shirt Shop.